So Reed's kick sails only to the 12. Caldwell got a huge gap. Here he goes past the 40 and all the way to midfield. The last shot at him came from Kewan Ratliff, and Ratliff brings him down after a 39-yard run back. Here we go after a big run back to start it by Andre Caldwell, and a whistle and a procedural penalty.
Full start. Offense, number 66, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Gene Steratore marking it off against the Bengals, and here was the opening kickoff a moment ago by Caldwell, the run back.
Well, the Andre Caldwell has the speed. You'll see him in the passing game today for the Bengals, but also the energy of the football team, the sense of urgency, the crowd. I think all that played in to the opening kickoff in the favor of the Cincinnati Bengals.
So the Bengals now from their own 46 with Carson Palmer giving it to Cedric Benson, coming off a big 141-yard performance against Green Bay. On 2nd and 14, going back to Benson, who carried it 29 times last week. And he's got 2 quick carries going back to 2007. They defeat the Redskins 19-14. 3rd down 15, and Palmer flings it and almost picked off. That was Ferrier who had a play on it. They were going for Chris Henry.
James Ferrier just dropped back that time. A zone defense and says, I'm just going to watch the quarterback. We can get to the passer pretty quick. And he sees Carson Palmer and just quick enough to break up the pass.
We'll bring out the rookie punter who has been sensational through 2 weeks, Kevin Huber, homegrown product right out of Cincinnati High School and Cincinnati High School and the University of Cincinnati. Kicking to Logan. And another good one, but it does bound into the end zone. He's out of McNicholas High School here in Cincinnati. Looking out with a 2 tight end set, and they shift Miller over to a wing on the right. We'll begin with Parker getting stacked up. We've got an update, a game that came down to the wire up in Minnesota. And the Favre magic, well, people were saying, I'm not sure it's there. It was there today at the end, and they're now 3-0. Heartbreak for the Niners. 2nd down pass is incomplete. Mike Wallace comes in as a 3rd receiver on 2nd down and 20. Back at the 9. Pump fake. Roethlisberger looking for a 3rd option and throws it to Ward, who waited for it at midfield. A 41-yard pass play.
You let him out on the first pass. That's not good.
Big streak continues for Ward. 165 straight games with a catch. Double whammy and still a catch. What a job holding on. Heath Miller for 4 yards.
This Cincinnati defense, bigger, faster. And what's that mean? They get to the football quicker. What a hit. Jonathan Joseph coming off his receiver and following the football. Maluga, big and fast. Always a good combination on the defensive side.
So a 2nd down and 6 from the Cincinnati 45. It's Parker. He's got a gap inside the 40, inside the 30. Willie Parker tightrope down the sideline, and the first time all season. Remember last week they opened up with a big 8-minute drive for a touchdown at Chicago, and that's Parker for another 4. They were back at their 9 on this series, and now they're motoring inside the Cincinnati 20. On the Parker run, this was the block you talked about that just did this go on for a while? It's only 10 yards out of bounds between these two. Finally, Mendenhall comes over to separate.
Oh, man. I wouldn't try to get in the middle of it and break that up either.
No.
And if you throw a penalty flag, it would be offsetting, but it would settle them down because you got to be careful not getting kicked out of the game.
Well, Ward's already had 1 call against him. 2nd down and 6. Almost intercepted and then almost caught. Weldy Moore comes into the Pittsburgh backfield. Roethlisberger steps over to the left side and zips it to Mike Wallace for a first. It's a good-looking rookie, this receiver out of Ole Miss. Only 1 out of the last 26 games, and Pittsburgh threatening to do it again. And 1st and goal is Parker. Trying to squeeze through a narrow seam and give him 2.
Receivers that make they have made big plays on offense.
And it's a 2nd and goal. Good time for Ben. Throws down to the 1. Miller.
Good job again. Gets out of the pocket just enough. Ben Roethlisberger buys extra time, and he throws to probably one of the most underrated players in the NFL in Heath Miller at tight end. He can do everything. He's a good blocker and a tremendous catcher of the football. But look at the, oh, what a job. Antoine Odom just crushed to the inside, allowed Roethlisberger to move out and find Heath Miller.
Well, last week they threw a touchdown to Matt Spade down at the 1. This is a 3rd and goal. Parker. And Parker gets to within half a yard. That's it. It's going to be a 4th and goal. Now, last week they were again in the same situation, went for it, and threw the touchdown pass to the back of the end zone to Spade.
Well, last week they tried to go against conventional wisdom. A couple times they threw the touchdown, Jim, and the other time Ben Roethlisberger ran it. Unique formation at time, trying to get the defense guessing, not enough. And quite honestly, I'm surprised they didn't go for it here to get a touchdown.
Well, they're going to give Reed a chance to make the chippy from 19. Reed, of course, missing the 2 in the 4th quarter last week. Just a rarity for Jeff Reed, who bangs it through the left side. It's good. And Reed sending it back down the way to Caldwell. They ran the first one all the way to the Pittsburg side of the field. They fake the reverse. And Caldwell, this time, they fake to Benson. Palmer looking downfield. Oh, and he zipped it in there, looking for Lavernius Coles. And that was Ike Taylor who got a hand in it. The middle of it.
The receiver, you're right. You got a hand in there, and he was stuck right to the hip of Lavernius Coles. Reads the route, turns, and if it wasn't just a perfect throw by Carson Palmer, it's going to be a fight for the football. But twice down the field for the Bengals so far, and 2 times the receiver has been well covered.
Good play there by Ike Taylor, 7-year man out of Louisiana Lafayette. 2nd down, 10. Straight drop back with a flag. And that is Chad with the catch. But we'll check the flag. Gain 9.
Illegal formation, offense. Number 73 was the widest man on the line of scrimmage. He was also uncovered. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
A little yardage here on offense. Through 5 plays, no yards. Through 6 plays, no yards. Benson stuffed. That's Timmons with the first hit.
Yeah, you just got to hang in there. No one running is tough against this defense. But 2, you heard that last penalty. That's another drive stopper. The first play of the game, they have an illegal procedure. So you can't make up yards against the Steelers defense. And also formations. The Bengals have been running a lot of unbalanced lines. So if you're a player, you must know the rules, when to get up on the line of scrimmage, when to get off.
3rd and long again. 3rd and 15. Lofting it and too high. Over the head of Lavernius Coles, the former Jet, who signed back in May as a free agent. So for the 2nd time, Cincinnati.
Yep.
3 plays and a punt. Their longest play from scrimmage so far, good for 1 yard.
Nothing there for Carson Palmer, and the pressure, obvious passing downs. The Steelers are pushing that pocket fast.
Kevin Hubert coming for the 2nd time. The first specialist, if you will, he drafted this past year. Taken in the 5th round. Didn't catch all of this one, but gets the generous bounce when he was a defensive backfield coach at the University of Cincinnati back in 1999 and 2000. Looking across the way at the stadium over there. There's Ward. All right, James. Brandon Marshall with his first touchdown catch of the season. The 2nd down and 4. And Parker has the first down. Really, Johnson also played the role of backup tight end. Here's Roethlisberger flinging it over, and Santonio Holmes drops it. He had a couple of drops last week at Chicago.
Pressure by the defense. Good job by Roethlisberger. It's amazing. Watch this. He can throw, he can fake throw it or pump it, whatever you want to say. He meant to throw the first time, and he just somehow holds on and then still is able to reload and put the football on target.
Well, he does that as much as anyone, doesn't he?
More than anybody.
We're seeing that Mark Sanchez, the rookie of the Jets, does that very
yeah, but he does
Roethlisberger-esque.
He does it with two hands. You teach that.
2nd and 10. And it's Parker. Another big run for Willie. Going behind Justin Hartwig and Heath Miller for 13.
Well, what happens here, you've got to play under control. And it's 2nd and long, and everybody's going, I want a piece of the quarterback. And again, so the outside rusher, Odom, way up the field. It leaves a big gap between him and the next defensive lineman. Good call, good job of running, and excellent blocking by the Steelers to get another big run.
Back to the Cincinnati side of the field, and a new set of downs. That's Parker for 5.
Getting out of position.
Early dominance here by the Steelers, just as it was last week in the first quarter. And Parker, his best running of the season by far, coming here in this opening quarter.
Well, when you talk about last week, we said a little bit of Jim about the Steelers. You know, coaches draw plays on the blackboard. They go, this is how we want it to work. They had a lot of those. They executed a lot of plays last week. It was just field position, and then didn't have those big scoring plays that you always need. And Bruce Arians, offensive coordinator, said, man, it was hard to believe when the game was over. We didn't even punt in the 4th quarter, and we only scored 14 points.
For the whole game, they got outscored in that quarter. 10 unanswered by the Bears to win it. They brought back in. Arians sends back in Mike Wallace, set up wide to the right. On 3rd and a yard, it's Wallace. And the rookie has a second grab, and for the 2nd time, picks up a crucial 1st down.
I think it's a nice job to be the 3rd receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Nate Washington was always a factor last year, and that was a nice move. You can see he's fast. He's got some shake, and everybody knows that's the scouting report. The Bengals, out of nowhere, brought up Mike Wallace's name to us when we were hanging around for a couple of days.
He doesn't have those up and down moments like most rookies do. That's what Coach Tomlin told us a week ago. First down from the Bengals 27. Fake to Parker. Roethlisberger being chased, able to escape. Got a man wide open, and it's Parker taking it home for the touchdown. And Reed makes it 10-0.
Repetition makes good things, and got a lot of reps.
It's Caldwell. He'll take it from the 9. Try to get the edge. Logan, though, has him shut down after a 13-yard return. Back to Benson. Woodley, one of those to clog things up. Cincinnati just can't move it. Final minute of the first quarter. They got off to the big start with the run back to the Pittsburgh 49, and nothing's happened for them ever since. Again, the Steelers without Troy Polamalu this week, and he was the second one out on the field almost 4 hours before kickoff. He was out here, and Marvin Lewis had beaten them to the field. They were the only two out here just having a little chat for quite a while. Polamalu out for maybe a couple of more weeks with that knee injury suffered in the opener against Tennessee. Staying in the game, though, as the second set of eyes for Tyrone Carter, his replacement. And they throw him down. That is Casey Hampton on Palmer. Palmer almost intercepted. That was Ryan Clark diving for it. So 8 straight plays by the Bengals for no or negative yardage.
Well, what happens here, good fake blitz by the Steelers. They're all, you know, they're so fast on defense, even with Troy Polamalu out there and Carson Palmer looking down the middle. Look how many defenders are breaking towards the ball. When they play zone, you must look it up.
Hubert right on the goal line. This one much better. Logan backpedals with the fair catch. Roethlisberger going for the killer ball. And it's caught in stride. That's Wallace, who went out of bounds at the 10. Mike Wallace for 51 yards.
Boy, was that, look at the protection, Ben Roethlisberger. Now you're going to throw it high and far. Love to throw, gets to rock into it. Look how high he throws it. Jonathan Joseph, top, he finds out in person. Yes, they tell him all week, hey, this Mike Wallace is fast. In person, he's even faster. Beautiful throw, beautiful catch.
Longest play of this young season for the Steelers.
Field position in big plays. What a difference.
Third catch already for Wallace. First and goal. Parker keeps the feet driving. Took a play that looked like it was going nowhere. Was able to get 4 yards closer to the end zone.
Now, Mike Tomlin always says when he's talking about 20, there, look at that today. 4 already. Mike Tomlin has a word. He's got such a language to talk about football. Jim. Splash plays. I need some splash plays, and very confident they were going to get them today. And confident that Mike Wallace is going to be part of them.
Well, he certainly has been. 3 catches for 65 yards for Wallace. He helped set up the first 2 scores and trying to for a third time as Miller makes the catch, bounces off 1 tackle, Tank Johnson, and then it's only a yard. So 3rd and goal from the 5 on the way.
Well, too, you're in a game like this, and it's, you stop them here, you're going to go, wow, okay, everything's gone wrong, and we're only going to be down 13-0. But you really have to think as a player that's down, just do your job and use the techniques that you've worked on thousands of times. Don't overplay the situation.
They stack the left side. Cincinnati doesn't look like it has the numbers over there to protect. Roethlisberger looks right, now goes back to the end zone, too high for Miller. And they'll bring back Jeff Reed.
Boy, really good job. Nice call by the Bengals. Couldn't see who the coverage was, but it was a double move. When the blitz, they think you're going to throw it quick. It's the top of the screen. Oh boy, they had some guys open. But Roethlisberger went for the slant and go by Hines Ward. They covered it there. Nobody covered Heath Miller on the other side.
24-yarder coming up. He missed one from 38, one from 43 last week, and said after the game, you can have 10 great games in a row, said Jeff Reed, and still not get over those 2 trips. He's 2 for 2 today. Now Caldwell, oh man, is he walloped. And there is a flag as Kieran Fox just pummeled him.
3-4 teams, extra linebackers, more speed on special teams. You see it with the Steelers.
During the return, holding, return team, number 88.
And it's one of the reasons why they're down. And the Steelers are just fast and they're physical right now.
Here's Palmer over to Ochocinco near a first. So he's going to be marked about a half-yard short. William Gay brought him down. But that's the first positive moment for the offense.
We get the jeers. You know, what's the word for it? It's not a cheer. It's like, all right, it's about time. Ochocinco.
First play of the game for the Bengals that was longer than 1 yard. And they're a yard away from a first. And they have their first. They go to Ochocinco 2 times in a row to bring a little personality to this offense.
Well, he can do it, and I'll tell you what he brings more than anything. He just brings energy. He is in shape. He is healthy. And, oh, my gosh, is he fast on the field.
You told me this summer before the season started, you said, watch out for him. He's going to have a big comeback year after last season really being harnessed by a shoulder injury. And, of course, Palmer being out for 12 games.
Well, that's right. His quarterback is back. And Jim, I don't know, he's got like ankles that just can bend anywhere, so he can run full speed and make breaks.
And that's Benson. And Benson, that's his biggest gallop of the day, and they're going to be facing 3rd and 1. It was a gain of 7. Cedric Benson signed about a year ago this week after being let go by the Bears.
Well, look at this across the front. Can't tell all the numbers. It looks like they've come with an unbalanced line, and what they do, they bring in number 74, Dennis Rowland, and they get 6 big offensive linemen there, and it works. Works pretty well for the Bengals. They've really had some nice runs out of it the first 2 weeks.
3rd and a yard. A long yard. They go with Jeremy Johnson.
Unbalanced again.
Take the reverse with Coles. They go middle with Benson. You met with Benson this week. Changed his diet, changed his attitude, really in many ways changed the attitude of this team.
He changed it while he was in Chicago. Then he got in trouble, understands the running game of the Bengals, and thinks it really fits his style of running.
It's a 2nd down and 8. Had some charges pressed against him. They later dropped, and that throw is over the head. Ocho Cinco. It's a 3rd down and 8. Here they come. They seal the pocket. The pass caught. And it's Ocho Cinco.
What a throw.
21 yards.
Everybody always says, oh, arm strength's not that important in the NFL. Well, you're watching a different game than I watch, because look at the coverage by Ike Taylor. Right on his hip, his arm is in front, and Carson Palmer, he throws it right down the middle of the plate. And Chad Johnson, that was a good job of just getting extra yards. Again, you can see how quick, fast, and you're, of course, going to be a better wide receiver than Carson Palmer as a quarterback.
On the Pittsburgh side of the field for the first time. And Benson brought down by William Gay, and that's a big chunk of 7. Benson seeing some running lanes for the first time. Carson Palmer telling us you can tell the guys love blocking for Benson. They appreciate he tries to run over people.
Look at the blocking. Everybody's getting pushed. Oh, nice job. Hugging the block and then seeing the defender out of the corner of his eye and getting another 3 or 4 yards. Offensive linemen, Jim, you're right. They love physical, tough runners. Makes them look good.
The 2nd down and 3. Benson's got the first. There is a flag. Going to be against Cincinnati, it looks like.
See Bobby Williams waving it away.
Holding. Offense. Number 63. 10-yard penalty. Replay, 2nd down.
But the offensive line been a little surprised for the Bengals this year, I think, so far. I think it all kind of coincides. The running back, the quarterback are back. Helps an offensive line out, and they're working hard.
The 2nd down, 13. And not in the area of Ocho Cinco.
That slipped out of the hand of Carson Palmer.
Andre Caldwell was over there too, Phil. He was open on that right side.
Yeah, the rush, they are pushing the pocket. They're doing what the Bengals want to do against Ben Roethlisberger, but Carson Palmer trying to unload a little fast. You could see his arm didn't quite catch up to the body, so the football usually goes high and away from the target when that happens.
Dennis Rowland has moved to right tackle, replacing Anthony Collins for the Bengals. They have a 3rd and 13. Palmer's pass behind Caldwell, and they'll be forced to punt. They were back deep in their own territory. Hubert, who is tops in the NFL through the first 2 weeks, punts inside the 20. He's got another one here. Including their longest play of the season, went for 51 yards. That's Parker. He's got 7.
Steelers had 6 offensive linemen on that last play. Foster, number 73, came in.
Parker picks up the first. He's got more yards rushing now in the first half of this game than he had the first 2 games. He had 66 on the season before today.
Well, running backs, Jim, they're a lot like quarterbacks. And, you know, when you look at numbers, you got to get teams that match up for you. And today, running against the Chicago Bears last week, they crowd the line of scrimmage. Tennessee Titans, they're almost impossible to run against like the Steelers, but today's his chance, and he's taking advantage of it.
On 1st down, quick toss. Spaeth got across the 30 to the 32. Well, Ben Roethlisberger not only hasn't lost at Cincinnati, hasn't lost at Cleveland either. As a member of the Steelers, he's knocking on wood last night on the table when we were talking to him about that record back here in his home state out of Findlay, Ohio, a place where he took his offensive lineman last year. They had a weekend free, and to celebrate Justin Hartwig's birthday, he chartered a plane, took him to Chicago for a few days to celebrate his 30th, Hartwig's 30th. They stopped over in Findlay, picked up some ribs from Tony, 2 racks for everyone. And nothing that time for Parker.
So
he had no problem with it.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well, I would say.
Didn't bother him a bit. 3rd and short. In the pocket, Miller has the first. He keeps hitting Miller with these little short throws. That one for 4. That's all he needed. Miller with 4 catches for 15 yards.
You know, I just don't know why more teams don't copy the Steelers. It's got to be part of what you do. But they just bunch receivers together, and it makes the defense go and retreat. It's 3rd and, you know, it's 3rd, 4, 5, or 6. They get in those with formations. You backpedal. Ben Roethlisberger gets a little opening, sticks it in there to the tight end.
First down from the 37. Parker looked like he might be tackled for a loss. He showed that little extra burst to pick up 3.
Well, really, no matter what happens on this drive, but what a dominating first half by this Steelers offense. Antoine Odom, what can he do? Chases it down the line. Well, that's a good job of hustling. Antoine Odom, 250 pounds last year, 280 now. You can see it. You immediately to say, wow, this guy would be hard to block. But you heard it, Jim said he felt like he didn't earn the money. Got hurt. He's come back, and he's been a force the first 2 games.
There's a throw over to Limas Swede, his first catch of the season, and he is hammered quickly by Joseph. With Pittsburgh leading it 13-0. Got the first down, and that is Hines Ward, and he might have his 10,000-yard career. He needed 60 coming in. That gives him 10,001 yards. First Steeler ever. He's got all the Steeler receiving marks. You talk about the history, too. Pretty impressive. Back to him, and it's through his hands. He was jarred by Crocker. Well, you think of the Lynn Swans, John Stallworths, Lewis Lips, some of the decorated receivers. Here's the one that gives Hines Ward, and it came on 3rd down, over 10,000 yards on the career. Hall of Fame numbers for the former Super Bowl MVP. 2nd down from the 41. It's Moore, and Johnson brings him down. Roethlisberger to Holmes. Did he get the feet down? No, they say.
Second foot didn't get down.
He's ruled out. Leon Hall was on the coverage.
Nice throw. Really good throw by Ben Roethlisberger. Everybody has got tight coverage, so he throws it back shoulder perfect.
Yep. Definitely only one in.
Did that foot? Let's watch it again. Does it bounce as he catches the ball? Watch the foot. Nope, it didn't.
They've got 258 yards, the Steelers, in this first half. No yards for Holmes. No catches. He had a drop early. They're going for it on 4th down. 4th and 4. Twice, in fact. Maybe he'll take the snap, drop back, and boot it down there.
Too close to the center to punt it.
Yep. Gonna throw for it. Avoids the sack. And there's a flag. Still got it away.
That's how you want to rush the quarterback. They compressed the pocket from outside and slowly condensed it.
Holding. Offense, number 78. Penalty is declined. First down, Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, you know, with them going for it, they have a chance to do a little something here with a full allotment of timeouts.
Antoine Odom makes him step up, and once you step up, and everybody else is in position, Jim. It's just so hard, even for a quarterback of Roethlisberger's size, to see and now clearly make that decision to throw the football. Excellent. Best pass rush of the day by the Bengals defensive line.
Yeah, that was Jonathan Fanene was in there too. As you see, Antoine Odom with 7 sacks in the first 2 weeks of the season.
Well, he calls it.
So again, 3 timeouts for the Bengals, and they operate from the 35. Chris Henry's come onto the field. There he is, making the catch at the Pittsburgh 46. 19 yards to Chris Henry. Open receiver is Daniel Coates, the tight end. Will hurry to the line after a gain of 8. Ryan Clark is back out after missing a snap. There he is, dropping back to the 23-yard line, backpedaling. Short throw, Caldwell first down. Here comes their second timeout. Palmer's pass deflected and knocked down. Palmer jumped in there to make sure it fell to the ground. It was tipped by Brett Kiesel, and a flag falls.
Oh, it's going to be holding
against Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 26, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
The Bengals are expecting blitz.
Cincinnati's first threat. They pick up the blitz. It's Caldwell. And he is shoved to the 15. Palmer wants to spike it. Gain of 11.
They got to hurry so you can get 2 timeouts. Why is the tight end switch sides?
Now Coates moving over there. Cost him an extra 3-4 seconds. No spike. Going to the end zone. And incomplete. They even go play action with it. This pass goes incomplete. And they're probably fortunate it did fall to the ground. Close out the half. Bengals are on the board. And they're lucky. The Steelers here 3 years ago. That was the one where Carson Palmer on the second snap of the game had his knee blown out. Steelers won on the way to the Super Bowl title. And look at the run back by Logan to the 29-yard line. Had about 100 yards of total offense. Coming over to Miller, his 5th catch, and again, one of a short variety. So second down and 6. And that's a flag down as it goes to Santonio Holmes.
Going to get Hines Ward for holding, I think. These quick screens, the Steelers love them, and they're really good at it.
Pass interference, offense, number 86.
Yeah, it's the second time they've called a big penalty against Hines Ward in this game. Would have been Holmes' first catch.
Watch 86 going up the field. I don't know. I didn't see it. I thought the football actually arrived to Santonio Holmes before Hines Ward made contact. But the Steelers use all those quick screens. They become very good at them. Bruce Arians actually ran a lot of them when he was with the Cleveland Browns as an offensive coordinator. And you got to look at it. Sometimes they do that instead of running the football.
Second down, 15. Picked off. Look out. This should go for a touchdown. Jonathan Joseph returns it for the score.
Held that football up a little too quick, too.
Look out. Snap sails all the way back to the 30. Bounds to the 36. Brad St. Louis. And Graham drives it down to about the 3. To Stephon Logan. Logan taken off to the outside. Switches hands with the football. He's at midfield and dragged down by Roy Williams. But the return by Logan sets up the Steelers at the Bengals 40, and a good quick hit on Willie Parker for no gain. That's Brandon Johnson.
Until you said it, we got to give it its due. Logan, so quick, and look how he runs. We've seen him now last week and this week. The weaving, if you're a defender, you just got to stay in place and wait till he comes.
Yeah, look at this tackle. Is that the horse collar by Roy Williams?
It is not.
It's not.
Good no call.
And of course, he's the one that really created that whole stir and that call.
Yeah, he used to pull him down from behind and fall in the back of the legs. That's why they had to outlaw.
Yep. Big block by Frazier on that return. Here's the toss over to Wallace, and he's got the catch. 4th one of the day.
Man.
It's where the guy sitting at home says, well, why wasn't that, Phil? Why wasn't that a horse collar?
Well, first off, he grabbed the middle of the jersey and just pulled him backwards with it. But the horse collar, your hands got to be up in there around the shoulder pads, and then you got to drag them down from behind. Pull them backwards. That's the true sense of the horse collar, the rule.
Bengals trying to prevent the Steelers from getting the momentum right back in their favor. 3rd down and 4. Noel D. Moore comes in, flanking Roethlisberger, switching things around as he steps back into the gun. Pump fake, looking long, going to the end zone, looking for Swede, and he didn't hold on. Oh, he had problems with drops last year, and this is one that was a sure touchdown.
What a job, everybody. The Steelers, Roethlisberger pulls out of a sack, reloads the football. Who grabs him? But Lima Swede, the coverage breaks down. Ndukwe gets caught looking short, and Swede runs right by him. Perfect throw.
Awful.
Yeah, those kind of drops.
Got to make that catch.
They wear on you. They become you. It's hard sometimes to overcome the fact that you drop easy ones like that.
52 yards. Reed with the kick, and it hooks wide left. Benson works the middle of the field for about 2. Former 2nd-round draft pick out of Texas. And that will weigh on him. And a run out within a yard of a first. Benson sets up a 3rd and 1. Give him 7. Eke out a victory at Kansas City, but Jamarcus Russell with the pair of picks so far. Here's the throw on 3rd and 1, and Coles won't get it. William Gay, textbook. How to wrap up a guy. Sets him back for a loss of a yard. Interesting play here on 3rd and a yard.
Yeah, it's a run play, and of course Carson Palmer had the option to throw it quickly. He does. How about William Gay? You said it right. Textbook, knowing the situation, being alert. As Mike Tomlin would say, that situational football done the right way.
Pittsburgh defense comes up big. The 4th. That Bengal momentum near midfield. And St. Louis this time snaps it back just fine. And Huber's kick goes out of bounds. Parker, and a quick hit on him by Antoine Odom. And another flag is down. Parker tries to weave it and take it out to the 30. We got, I think, 2 different flags, sets of infractions. Parker had run for 3. They're starting to slow him down.
Defensive line really working in unison, doing a good job as a group.
Holding. Offense. Number 74. 10-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
2nd down, 19. They go screen with Moore. And he spins out to the 22. Trying to clamp down on 3rd and 13. Roethlisberger hit when he threw it, but he was able to rifle it in time to Mike Wallace. Wallace at now 5 catches for 87 yards. Miller at fullback as they run it right side for 2. Willie Parker. We have not seen Rashard Mendenhall today after he came up with a couple of big plays in Chicago last week.
Yeah, we thought we might see him, and we just got the, I think we got the vibe. Is that the word?
Yeah.
That Mike Tomlin sending a little message to Rashard Mendenhall that this league is about a sense of urgency.
All week long.
That's right, and it starts during practice, meetings, everything. I said, what would you do, Coach, if you put him in for a couple plays and he gained a lot of yards? Well, I'd keep him in.
We can adjust to things, can't we?
Yeah.
2nd down and 8. And play action and pressure. Roethlisberger with a flag down. That's Ward inside the 40. Gain of 21.
Illegal contact. Defense. Number 29. Penalty is declined.
Turn around to make the hit in a hurry. Malaluga. A loss of 2. And the Chargers take the lead. Phillip Rivers running it in from 5 yards out. Here's Roethlisberger on second down. Holmes finally with a catch. And he's tackled at the 23. By the way, in that game, San Diego and Miami, Chad Pennington's been knocked out of the game, and Chad Henne is at quarterback for the Dolphins. Double fake, stepping up, throwing it right side to Parker. And a pair of Bengals converge and keep them about a yard, maybe 2 short of the first. Second down and 1. He'll run for it. Parker's going to get it. And he gets the edge and gets knocked out of the back to 5. Running behind Matt Spaeth and Hines Ward who open up the edge. The first and goal to go. They've been stopped twice inside the 10 and had to settle for field goals.
Unbalanced again.
10th play of the drive goes to Parker, and he's within a yard.
Steelers, they're
going to hurry up here.
Yeah. Always be alert for a quarterback sneak and a hurry up offense in a situation like this.
Second and goal. You got it, Phil. And goes Roethlisberger. Yes, touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Please to get up.
Second time in 2 weeks, Roethlisberger with a rush touchdown.
That was some drive.
He has an innateness to play the game, said his coach. Extra point is good by Reed. Change things back their way. Caldwell splits it out to the 31. Now what happened to Malaluga? Our first chance to show you, and it's not pretty. Watch 58 come in on the
right side
here.
Left ankle.
And the Bengals, great PR folks, passing on quick word here that it's the knee. We thought it might be an ankle.
Yes. But we were told it was the knee. I'll tell you though, Jim.
And also sent along word that Tank Johnson with a foot injury is doubtful to return on that defensive front for Cincinnati. Here's Palmer. Quickly over to Ocho Cinco, who's barely been on the field.
Been impressive.
Boy, quick blitz. Rushing in there in a hurry was Lawrence Timmons, and he deflected the pass.
Yeah, just you got to identify where the trouble is. The Bengals didn't identify the left side, and Lawrence Timmons, Mike Tomlin says he's a difference maker. Free rusher on the edge. So far today, though, always a big key. Anytime you have a Steelers defense blocking the outside linebackers. James Harrison, he lets himself get blocked because he wants Lawrence Timmons to have room to come and get to the quarterback.
And he's trying to prevent another 3 and out. They've got to get to the 41 for the first. Coles, he's not going to get there. That was Tyrone Carter closing on him quickly.
Yeah, not much you can do. It's not the same movement if Troy Polamalu is in there, but it's still a lot. And they could not pick up the number of blitzers, so they have to throw it quick.
Mike Taylor guarding here, Ocho Cinco.
Yeah, but no chance to hold the football long enough to throw it to Ocho Cinco down the field.
Huber forced to punt again. Oh, it's a fake. They got the first down. It's Crocker down to the Pittsburgh 40. Crocker picks up the 21 yards and now moving inside the Pittsburgh 40 and down to the 31 is Cedric Benson. On second down and a yard comes the blitz. Tough pass. Well defended. James Harrison was over there causing trouble, and so too was William Gay. Shane Graham again 52 yards. Huber on a hole. Graham, no way, not this time. Parker, we looked at the replays, by the way, on the field goal attempt. Does not appear that Ryan Clark got a fingertip on, just a missed kick. Parker thrown down after a gain of a yard. We got 3rd and about 6 or 7 coming up.
Loves his offensive line.
Bengals have not had a sack today. They had 9 on the season coming in. Quick pass. They go again on 3rd down to Wallace, but this time he stopped short by Jonathan Joseph. He got 6. He needed 7.
Good job by Jonathan Joseph. Just, again, they know it's an all-out blitz, and everybody on the Bengals side knows there's no way they can block them all, so you've got to be a very good tackler when the pass is thrown short, and Joseph was that time.
So Daniel Sepulveda comes out, first punt of the day, and they almost get to him. Fair catch signaled. Steelers trying to make it 9 consecutive wins at this stadium. Out of the gun, Palmer gets it over to Caldwell, and he picks up about 14 and a first.
Against the Jets, special teams breakdown.
And Palmer gets the time to throw it. He's got another first down with Ocho Cinco. That one's good for 14.
Down the field throwing. This is something that Marvin Lewis talks so much about. They missed it last year. He goes, we couldn't make a play down the field. We couldn't even get pass interference down the field because we couldn't throw it far enough. Man, that's, you just realize that's what we need.
Yeah, he's zinging it around there pretty good. And he said that's what we need. They were 32nd in the league last year, total offense. They have not had a big play here today. Nothing of the 25-yard type play or longer. And, crowd here wants a flag, and it comes in at the end. They were looking at Coates. Tyrone Carter reaching around. To amplify what you're talking about, Ocho Cinco in 2007 had 27.
Defense, number 25. Spot foul.
Call on Ryan Clark.
First down.
Good protection. Coach down the field. Safety gets there, pulls him. That's why they call it. You can put your hand on the receiver, but when you move him, that's when it's a penalty.
17-yard penalty. Ocho Cinco had 27 catches 2 years ago, best in the league that went for at least 20. Last year he had only 3. This year he's already at 4 grabs over 20. So the big play threat's already been back, but we haven't seen it so much today. Big run though by Benson, and he gallops for about 8. Palmer in trouble. Coming back to get him is Harrison. Does not go as a sack, does it? And did it give him no gain? It looked like he may have picked up a yard or 2.
Well, if it's a no gain, of course it's a sack. But so far today, the Bengals have done a good job against James Harrison, Lamar Woodley on the outside. And it's always a worry, like I said earlier, because the 3-4 defense, sooner or later, a back or a tight end is going to block one of those outside linebackers who really are just defensive ends that are athletic enough to stand up.
All right, 3rd and 2. And first down grab by Coles. That last Harrison play did go as a sack. Coles with the catch for 9, and the Bengals move the sticks.
Lavernius Coles, smart. I think everybody knows that he played for the Jets. He just got an attitude of toughness, being a pro, and he's wearing off on the wide receivers here in Cincinnati. And look at that. Well, that's one reason why he's not getting a lot of sacks, Jim. He's double teamed. Every time there's a free offensive lineman, go look for number 92.
That's a pretty good idea. First down, Bengals 23-yard line. Benson taken off inside the 20 to the 10. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Cedric Benson. Try to get it within a field goal game. Gonna throw for it. Batted down by Woodley.
Well, they love him here in Cincy.
Then delivers it to the 8. Logan again makes somebody miss. First down from the 27. And Parker. Second down and 11. Roethlisberger to Wallace. Sneak. Roethlisberger drives. And he's got it.
Here we go, men.
I don't know. This is not the greatest spot here.
Well, they've already signaled first. Parker. Bodies collide at the 40, and he falls to the 41 for 3.
I'd say the Steelers got their, whatever they call it, their big package, elephant, something, rhinoceros. They have an extra 2 tight ends, an extra offensive lineman.
Running by far the best they have in the first 3 weeks. But Parker this time twisted at the line for no gain by Chris Crocker.
Good timing by Chris Crocker. He gets up there late. Nobody to block him, makes the tackle. On the outside, 42. Oh, he just goes around space. They had a guy to block him, just couldn't get it done.
Okay, and the Cincinnati defense now make a stand. The Steelers have.
They're expecting blitz.
It's coming. They get to Roethlisberger, and this time no escape. First sack of the game by the Bengals. It was Antoine Odom who got to him first. Sims was there a little later, and others.
That was a disciplined pass rush by the Bengals. Look at that. All of them spread across the board. So when Roethlisberger tries to get out of trouble, nowhere to go. Antoine Odom inside breaks a double team and gets a hold and doesn't let go.
Sepulveda sends a spiral all the way back down to the 11. Here's Quan Cosby. Dangerous returner. And he's out to the 28-yard line. It's Benson. And he slides out to the 32. Falls at the feet of James Ferrier. You know, that extra point's looming large, too. Brad St. Louis. This one got away from him. Snapping it.
Yeah, this hit the backstop.
Yep.
But it's hard to look back because remember those points, it changes the outlook of how you do everything else. But that didn't. All that did is stop the Bengals from kicking the extra point when they scored to make this game 20-17.
Now on second down and 7. They've got the first down. Coles holding on to it and out near the 50. Picks up 17. Carson Palmer called him the ultimate pro.
Boy, nice job, too. Lavernius Coles brings it flat. He didn't go up the field too much, which is very important, so he didn't give William Gay a chance to come in there and break it up. Yeah, what did Lavernius Coles say to Chad Johnson one day during practice? Chad Johnson said, they've only thrown to me 5 times.
He says, hey, they've only thrown it to me once. Just trying to
appreciate what you got.
Yep. Lend a little perspective to his teammate. Here's Benson. Pennington was hurt for the Dolphins. Second down and 5.
I'm sorry, I've been talking about Chad Ochocinco. I said Johnson.
No need to apologize. It can happen. That's Benson just riding the back of a teammate inside the 40 and a first.
That's exactly what he did. Just hugged right up to his offensive lineman, and they were road grading down the field. Look at this, just a wall, and they're pushing. Oh, Lawrence Timmons, he's moving. Excellent job. Kiesel couldn't get away from the blocker either.
With 2.5 to play. Down at the Pittsburg 38. Caldwell was waiting for it, and he has it near another first.
Well, when the game is on the line and it's a big drive, the offensive line for the Bengals really getting stout.
So another nail biter, not only for the Steelers, but for the Bengals as well, for the third straight week. They're a yard shy of the first. Second down and 1, and Palmer going to sneak for it. And it looks like the spot's going to be good for the first. How about a little strategy here? You know, if you really time this right, you're able to drive it right down to the end and score with no time left here, or very little time, I should say.
Well, that's the ideal world. And I said this too, I'll say this. If I was the Bengals, try to use the time, but don't use your timeouts. Just in case. In case you don't, it doesn't work. There's a little time. You stop the Steelers 3 straight plays, and maybe you get one more play at the end of the game.
Big yard advantage in this quarter, 111 for the Bengals, as Palmer has not missed in this quarter. 6 for 6. Throwing on first down. And from behind, Ike Taylor. Some thought it might have been a little early, but no flag.
Good timing. Excellent job by Ike Taylor. In college, there'd have been 6 flags.
Drop back to the gun. Spread them out. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Palmer, middle of the field. Great grab that time by Caldwell.
What a catch.
Wow. Picks up 7. Maybe 8.
Tell you what it's doing too, Jim.
Timeout here called by Cincinnati.
They're going to take it.
Third, we'll call it 2. Going for the big one. To the end zone and in and out of the hands of Ocho Cinco. Ike Taylor may have tipped it away. It looked like for a moment it might be 6.
He did. He stayed right with him, and what he did, Ike Taylor read Ocho Cinco. So when he raised his arms to go for the catch, he got his hand right in the middle. Excellent job.
And now another timeout called by the Bengals with 4th down coming up. Now the signal was Cincinnati for the timeout.
He just signaled to the Steelers. He turned around and signaled it's a Pittsburg timeout.
Okay, so it's back to the Pittsburg timeout with 4th and 2 on the way. A Cincinnati must right here with 1 minute exactly. Palmer, open man, first down. Coles with the catch.
Plenty of time.
Stops the clock at 47 seconds. And second down from the 15. Palmer throws, end zone, knocked away by Ryan Clark.
What a job. I thought for sure it was a touchdown.
I did too.
Ocho Cinco goes down the field, wants to move across.
I think Ike Taylor may have even got a fingertip on it.
Oh, yeah, it was Ike Taylor.
He did it, deflect it. You know, he never makes the Pro Bowl because he doesn't get a lot of picks. He's got bad hands. But that's already now 4 times today he's knocked balls away.
He's been there a while. There's a reason why he's the starter. Tremendous tackler.
Welcome those of you who saw the Broncos go to 3-0, defeating Oakland 23-3. Coming down to the end here. 3rd down. Bengals from the 15. Palmer forced to roll out. Now throws to the end zone. He was looking for Henry, incomplete, to keep him alive. With 36 seconds to go. Palmer has the time. Throws it at the last second, and Leonard able to stay on his feet for the first down. Looked like he'd be stopped a yard short. What an effort by Brian Leonard. Now with 20 seconds, clock running. Here's a spike at 18 seconds. And Leonard a little gimpy. He's was looking at walking off the field, but I didn't think he was going to make it. It was a great second effort by the backup running back.
You think he's going to get caught from behind? He released late. What a job by Carson Palmer pulling the football down. And Brian Leonard made this football team because he's a good blocker on 3rd downs, and he just knows how to play the 3rd down offense. What a job.
What a game. With 18 seconds, 2nd and goal. Palmer Touchdown, Cincinnati. Andre Caldwell. His first career touchdown, Andre Caldwell. Younger brother of Rashay Caldwell, used to play for the Chargers and the Patriots. They'll go for two here. That offensive line gave Palmer the protection he needed. Fake to Caldwell, throw to Leonard, they've got it for two more. Here at Paul Brown Stadium. Second hop comes to Mendenhall. He rattles it back to Logan. Logan cuts back middle. 3 seconds to go, and he's down in time to get one snap. So winding up and heaving it as far as he can, Roethlisberger. And it falls incomplete, and the Bengals have upset the Super Bowl champions.